Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. I want to welcome everybody aboard. We're on a different time today on the show because I guess it's coming from the UK, so I try to make it convenient for them. And it's going to be another great show. But everyone, welcome to Animal Advocates Radio, Voices Carried for Animals podcast number 500 today. This is amazing, everyone. I just love it. And we're going to keep going here because, it is just so great to have this podcast going on for so long and so many shows and so many great guests, former guests that has made this a total success, and the callers and the listeners that's getting involved. And back in January of this year, Blog Talk Radio closed down, and I was on there for 10.5 years, and that is a long time. And when they closed down, I said I didn't want to give it up because I wanted to keep going, so I had to get it together and got on Podbean podcast app and web and got involved and stayed there. And it has been awesome ever since, going on 7 months now. I started back in June of 2014 on Marty Oakley TS Radio Network, and sadly she passed away April the 1st of 2023. But she's the grassroots of it all, and may she rest in peace. She was a super friend, a super team player, and she helped me get Animal Advocates Radio, Voices Carried for Animals, together in March of 2018, and then going up to January of this year at the end. And I was like, oh, look at this. It's already, 500 shows and counting. And I just like, wow, this is amazing for us, everyone. And 500 shows today. Thank you for everyone. So we're going to, and everyone that's in the chat room, thank you all so much for all your continuous support. I love this chat room, and from the ones that's listening in from Podbean podcast web, you can join us here in the chat room. There are just a couple simple steps to take if you want to join us. This chat room is awesome, and all you got to do is go to either Google Play, or you could go to the App Store and install free is the Podbean podcast app and player, okay? And then all you got to do after that is follow Voices Carry for Animals podcast in your end, and you will get alerted every Thursday that the show is starting up. Click to join, or you could go to your Podbean app, and there's going to be a live link. You press it, and it should be showing it's going live now. And with all the other shows, it's going, live, also live stream. And also, if you want to start an account, a free account on Voices Carry for Animals.podbean.com. And a few simple steps there is go to the podbean.com, and you're going to go to login, and then also you're going to press create account. Okay, you'll need a name, your full name or your nickname, and your email address, and also a password. And then you're going to press the robot to make sure you're not a robot, and then create account, and then follow. Next is Voices Carry for Animals podcast. It's a host website. All the former shows are on there, and you can listen and share 24/7. And I got a tribute to Marty Oakley on there, and all the shows, because it was 163 live podcasts from June of 2014 to March of 2018. And I have a link, and it's thepodchaser.com, that you could go and hear any of the shows from then. It's like a library, and you can also share all of them. I also have a tribute to Marty Oakley, rest in peace, on my website, voicescarryforanimals.com, and you can subscribe free. And after the show gets downloaded, I edit it, and it gets published. You can always go back to my website and listen to those shows also on there. There is a podcast player link where the last 5 shows are on there also. Um, but all these. This is such great news. I didn't think I'd be going this long, but I said I'm not giving up, and I'm going to keep going strong, because the animals need us. If we give up, then we automatically lose. Okay, and it takes strong teamwork to to see the victories, the goals we're achieving, the good news, have better lives and futures. So and also, I wanted to, and Jane Goodall passed away yesterday, and it's very sad. She's a very strong, strong activist out there, a huge voice, and everybody's going to miss her. I remember sharing a lot of her posts, and we'll continue. Her voice will carry on, and that's what it takes. So, but I want to go, and all after this is published, I have 2 YouTube channels, and that's Voices Carry for Animals podcast. So you could be a free subscriber, posting the shows on there. There's so many ways you can get to all these shows, and also Animal Advocates Radio podcast on YouTube. Also on podserve.fm, it has a small host website on there with all the former shows under Animal Advocates Radio. But after it gets these shows, they get downloaded and published. There is so many sites you can follow, and you can iHeartRadio. We have Apple Podcasts, Spotify, PodParis.com. We also It's also on Podcast Addict, and Audible, Podcast Republic, Listen Notes, Podchaser, Pocket Cast, Castbox, Castro, Boomplay, Raphonic, Podbay.fm, Amazon podcast. There's just a list where it's going, and if you're a follower or has an account with them, you can check out my shows on all of them, because it's up to like 27 where we can go and check them all out, and keep spreading the word, because our voices do carry for animals if there is enough of us. But if not, then we have to, we're spinning our wheels. So you have a choice to use your voice, everyone. Okay. And please, the animals need us and we cannot fail them. Okay. Where our goal is to, see their rights be granted, not violated, because there's so many that are. But I want to go ahead and get going with my guest here. This is going to be another great show, and I'm going to welcome them back, to Tracy Holroyd, and also and then her brother David Holroyd. And they're awesome. I mean, we've been in contact, and they're just all the great work they're doing, and with for the Dolphins, and in captivity, what's going on behind the scenes. Our topic, they're authors of the Perfect Pair Dolphin Triology, and David Howard is also known as David Capello. And we're going to speak to whistleblowers in the captive dolphin industry this evening. Okay. And I said, this is all the hard work that they need all of our support, because these dolphins that are out there, they shouldn't be held captive. There's no life for them. It's so sad, and they don't have a choice in the matter. But I'm going to go ahead. I see Tracy is in, and so is David. So what I'm
Yes.
gonna do is, hello, David. Can you hear me? Or Tracy?
I can hear you. I'm
Uh,
so sorry we've taken so long. It kept kicking us off. Um,
oh, no problem. Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all.
I've
And I
got
want to welcome you back. Yes. And David, if you at the lower right hand of your phone, there's a phone icon or a mic icon. Press it to alert me you want to come on air. Okay.
I'll go and do that for him. I'll just give David this computer.
Can't you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, there
Oh,
he
right.
is.
Okay.
All right, there he is. Oh, this is
Yeah.
great. You
I'm
both
actually on.
welcome back.
Yeah. I'm actually.
This
I'm sorry, Debbie. I'm actually on Tracy's computer because I can't get anything out of mine. That keeps coming on and it keeps knocking me off and coming on and knocking me off. So Tracy's now having a look to see what she can do. So,
okay?
so you're going to be stuck with me for a while.
Okay, hey, no problem at all. I totally understand. Okay, because
Okay.
whatever it takes. But this is wonderful. This is going. I know it's going to be another great show, and thank you for coming back. You're always welcome back. All my guests are always welcome back. The more exposure, the better. We don't want it to fizzle out or get swept under the carpet. People look the other way because we got some serious issues here. So. But you
Uh,
want to go ahead and press the audience out there, how this started when you was a dolphin trainer and everything. And we do have another show that's archived. If you guys ever want to go back to it and listen to it, it's another great show. And you can find that on Voices Carry for Animals. Podbean.com. I got a whole list of them in there. So, but it's wonderful. Go ahead, David.
okay. Yeah. Well, my actual training career started way back in 1971, and I trained two dolphins that became quite famous. Well, actually, very famous in Europe, and they were called, or they were known as, the Perfect Pair. Their names were Duchess and Herbie, and they were absolutely magnificent dolphins. The reason why they called them the Perfect Pair was, of course, that when they performed their somersaults and their high balls and their hurdles and hoops, they did everything in unison. Um, and these dolphins performed what was known here in Europe as the shadow ballet, and that was 2.5 forward somersaults in complete unison, 2.5 backward somersaults in complete unison, and 2.5 body spins again in unison. So they really were a fabulous dolphin team. And of course, they made my reputation within the dolphin world, and they were hailed very much as the showpiece of dolphins. But of course, that was a time when I was totally in love with my animals, with my Atlanteans, and I thought to myself, I couldn't see any wrong. I was looking through rose tinted glasses and ignoring the horrors that were going on around me, because all I cared about was Duchess and Herbie and two other dolphins called Baby and Scouse, who were my secondary team. And of course, in the end, those rose-coloured glasses cracked, and I realised that this business was just horrible. And I started, even when I was working within the industry, to rebel. Um, and of course, this didn't go down well, as you can well imagine. The firm that actually employed me were known as Entam Leisure, now defunct, and they were a subsidiary of Trust House Forte Group. I was head trainer of three of their dolphinariums, and I was the overseer of all their dolphin shows, the training schedules, and all the rest of it. But when I started to rebel, um, of course, the management were really having a go at me too. But the management had to be very careful, because I used a training technique, which I refer to as the Atlantean connection, and it's a telepathic link. Now, I know a great many people would say, well, this sounds far fetched, but what I would always say is, how come my dolphins outperformed all others in Europe, and they did tricks that none had ever seen before, if this connection didn't work? Um, so, of course, when I wrote, along with Tracy, the Perfect Pair Dolphin Trilogy book series, uh, I spoke of this Atlantean connection constantly. I pushed it, because I honestly believe that if the public embrace this psychic connection, if you like, or this telepathic link, whichever you want to call it, um, then it would reclassify the slaughter of dolphins and whales, by Japan and the Faroe Islands and Norway and others. And instead of saying slaughter, you would say genocide, because they would be deemed a a sentient creature in every way, because they can actually communicate with a human and vice versa. In other words, you can jump into the dolphin's mind as the dolphin can do it to you. Now, again, for everybody who's listening who thinks that this is a bit far fetched, the American government and the Russian government and Ukraine have known about this for decades, absolute decades. And we've all heard of the super soldier programs, the warfare dolphins that are harnessed with bombs and all the rest of it. This is the worst kept secret in the world. We all know about that. But the best kept secret is the Atlantean connection and the gifted trainers who train them for government facilities. And unfortunately, this connection demands a heavy toll. And it's okay for the dolphins and the whales, because they have no vocal cords. They've been speaking through their minds for hundreds of thousands of years. Whereas we, probably only a few thousand years. And when I say we, I'm talking about the Aborigines and people like that, where because we too have this gift, it's just been bred out of us by, of course, human conditioning. But for those trainers who can embrace this link, can find it, it takes a heavy toll. And when they become broken people, because this is what happens. 2 or 3 years accessing this Atlantean link burns trainers out. And these trainers, when they're kicked out of the facility that they were working for, they become literally alcoholics, dropouts, drug addicts. And let's face it, who's going to listen to these people? Because they're deemed now lower than the low. And yet they were literally the finest that our governments and a lot of the big training facilities could find. Sorry for going on, but I thought I'd better.
No, you're it's all very important, informative, and important. I mean, so important to know
Mhm.
all this. What's going on behind the scenes. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's disgusting.
Well,
It's
yeah.
why.
Well, it is.
Whoa.
It is. I mean, when you come to think how super intelligent, how super smart these Atlanteans are, and yet we are slaughtering them willy nilly. And of course, our governments are not calling out the Japanese or the Faroese or the Norwegians because they wish to protect their lucrative trade deals. And as we all know, money rules.
Yes, the greed and everything, and it's like, profit before animals, profit before people. It's an ongoing vicious cycle that needs to stop. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Well,
And,
we can stop it. We can stop it, Mama Bear.
yep, you're right.
All we have to do is not purchase a ticket to a whale or dolphin show. It's in our hands to do that. If the public didn't pay to go and see performing dolphins and orcas and belugas, then it would stop. Because, as I've just said, this is all about money. It's not about animal welfare. It's not about education. It's about money, plain and simple.
That's right. Greed, greed, and more greed. Right? And
Yep.
there is no need for greed. It's like, all I'm doing these shows. I mean, for over 11 years, and you see how many the roots of the problem is gone to greed. It's sickening.
Oh, it
I
is.
mean, and
Yeah.
I look at it as like from all angles, and it's like these animals. We all share this earth together temporarily. This crazy place called Earth, where it's only temporarily for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we got to make the best of them. We got to do what's right, fight for what's right, because these animals, they're living animal beings, just like we're human beings. They have feelings. They eat. They sleep. They communicate with us under another language, but we're all in this together, and they have every right to share this earth together with us. Every right.
Well, we are the people. We are the people of the land, as they are the people of the sea. And I
Yes.
think we should absolutely look up to the heavens and give praise and thank goodness they didn't get on the land first, because if they would have done, we would be gone.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's
really.
oh yeah.
Actually, I've said that quite wrong, because they were on land first. They went to the sea and they stayed in the sea. So
And they
no,
stayed in the
so
sea.
apologies for
Don't
that.
Yeah.
worry about it. Yep. Yep. So, and hey, everyone that's join us in the chat room, and there Yvonne's in here. Hey, Yvonne. I was looking for Darling too, and hey, thank you for sharing the show and liking it. Hey, the more likes, it builds this show up. Okay, so press it like 100 times when you're in there. and and you can also, if you want to speak, I'll be taking calls later in the show. Okay, so if you want to speak, at the lower right hand corner is a phone icon on there or a mic icon, either on your phone or your laptop, your iPad, your tablet, and to alert me you want to come on air. But I will be taking calls later on. Okay, not too far away, but I'll tell you
Okay.
what's going on, and it's just like one big vicious cycle, and it's been going on for year after year, decade after decade, and we can all do better, like David said, don't purchase that ticket, and that's going to hit right into their profit, and
It's
give them the freedom.
Yeah, it's the cruelty as well that is going on. I mean, at the moment, I'm going to give this room over now to Tracy because I've done a lot of talking. She's waiting at the end, and she'll tell you about the whistleblower program that we have running at the moment. So
Okay,
take it away,
great.
Tracy.
Take it away,
Right.
Tracy. All right. Hey, welcome back.
Okay.
Welcome back. So awesome friend there. So glad you're both back on, and you're always welcome back. So this is not the last one, okay? Because once you get involved, you're part of the Voices Carry family, and it's a wonderful thing. But go ahead, Tracy. Thanks for all
Yeah,
both of
can you
what you're
hear me
doing.
okay?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Oh, that's great. That's great. First of all, we're not used to using this Podbean, and I've noticed some great messages popping up on the screen from your listeners, and I don't know how to like them or anything because there's some great comments coming up. Um, so just to say to people out there, thank you for your comments, because if I could like them, if I knew how, I would do. But yeah, the whistleblower program. What we David sent a blog out a couple of years back talking about the Klonowska and Brown UK Dolphin Area report, and he did, he was challenging it because in the 80s this report was drawn up by the government, and the researchers went in, and this people think now that dolphin area are banned in the UK, but they are not. The report gave guidelines, and the pools that were in the UK around that time, 1986, I think it was, did not fulfill the guidelines for, welfare guidelines. So they had to close because it would have cost too much money to do them up. But if anybody was rich enough and wanted to start dolphin area back in the UK, they could do it. If they had deep enough pockets, they could do it. So David challenged the Klonowska and Brown report because some of David's dolphins didn't feature in it at all, and some of them featured, but the dates of capture and death, things like that, were all incorrect. Um, the people who made up this report were asking people who worked in the dolphin area on the whole, and they were fed basically a lot of lies. The number of dolphins that died in the UK, it far exceeded what appeared in the report because of illegal imports, and dolphins whose deaths were masked, dolphins who had died young and been replaced by another dolphin given the same name, that kind of thing, to mask the fertility rates of all these dolphins. And David put this out at the time, and we got in touch with a girl, a lady who had been interviewing former dolphin area workers from the UK. And we working with her, we've invited former marine park and dolphin area workers to come in and post their witness testimonies on this blog. They've started to come in, and you wouldn't believe the horrific stories we're hearing. For starters, one of David's dolphins, who was a blind dolphin, his name was Scout. He was blind. He was blinded when he was imported. He wasn't blind when they captured him. But he fought so hard in his sling that the sling snapped and it took his sight. It took one eye fully and one, they don't know how much the damage was or how much he could see, but it wasn't very much. So he was blind. A story we heard from somebody who came forward after we asked people to come forward, told us that that blind dolphin was beaten so badly with a metal pole
Oh,
that
whoa.
by one of the so-called trainers. He was beaten so badly with a metal pole they actually broke his dorsal fin.
Mm.
And because he couldn't work with anybody else, he could only work with David because, as I say, he was blind, and David had this psychic connection with him, this telepathic connection, and that David had left by then. He'd left by then because he'd lost Herbie. Herbie had died, and David was broken-hearted, and he walked out. And that dolphin was killed because he was fed a fish with a razor blade in it.
Mm.
Now, that's how they killed him. Now, he's not the only dolphin to die like that. It became a cheap way of getting rid of dolphins. They knew there was at very least three that we've heard of up to now, but God knows how many more. And the stories that are coming in now are just appalling. I mean, David, when he wrote his story, he had hoped to draw in the public and let them know what awful things were happening, and to give the charities ammunition to stop this globally. But the point is, those that story was meant to educate people, but everything that was in there, even David had no idea how horrific it was in other pools and in his pool after he left. We get in these stories, and people might say, oh, well, that was a long time ago and it was in the UK. But believe me, who teaches a trainer to train another
Mm.
trainer? And this is going on. These kind of things and these kind of abuses are going on globally. And every time you go into a dolphinarium abroad, say in Europe or in Japan or anywhere, China, anywhere, when the crowd goes home, the abuses are dreadful. Now, I know not all trainers are like this, because we actually got one story told by somebody where the trainer actually beat up the manager. And David actually attacked his general manager. It was a physical attack, because people don't understand that when you get a job, they all look at trainers as if they're the big bad wolves. But David, like for example, David, they get a job, they're enchanted by dolphins and they think they're lucky. And then the reality hits them and they see what's happening. And people say, well, why didn't you leave? But would you dump your dog? Would you leave your dog to the mercy of somebody else? You wouldn't do it. And when David left his dolphins, it took about, was it 6 months, David?
Yeah.
And they'd all died.
Yeah. 6 months, every dolphin I had ever trained was dead. And
Mm.
it's simple as that. Everything I ever touched was dead because nobody cared. And of course, the razor blade murders that Tracy has just told you about, I mean, when Tracy and I have been getting these whistleblower testimonies in, do you know we've sat and we both wept. Both of us were weeping. We wept when we actually wrote the Perfect Pair Dolphin Trilogy, and at 12 years later, we're weeping again at the horrors that are being exposed to us. So, can I ask all you US trainers out there that are not willing to come forward, to pick up the guts and contact us? Contact us on www.theperfectpairdolphintrilogy.com. Tell us about your stories. If you wish to remain anonymous, that's fine. All we need is the venue where the abuse took place and, of course, the abuse being described so that we can post it out and hopefully approach the national press. Although even that is very, very difficult because basically most of the national press are in the pockets of the dolphinarium owners, i.e., the multi conglomerates that pump the money into these horrible, horrible places.
Mm.
So I hope some of you out there, some of the trainers that are listening, will do that. And again, I apologise, like Tracy, for the people that are leaving messages because they're coming up on my computer as well. And I'm that frightened to actually touch anything because if I do, I might disappear forever.
Oh no, no, don't say that. Don't say that.
So
Yep.
apologies if I'm not answering your some of your listeners' questions, but I will verbally give answers, obviously, when it becomes Q&E time.
And thanks for not being relentless and not giving up. This it means so much because that's what you got to stay is proactive, optimistic, and relentless, and keep going.
Well, we
Because
are dog with a bone,
wow.
a dog
Yep.
with a bone, and
That's
I will never ever stop until this industry is done and dusted.
Yep, because it's so wrong. I mean, we gotta get with the times, everyone. It keeps happening year after year, you know,
Yeah.
decade after decade. It needs to stop. The abuse and stuff. It needs to stop. Free them.
Well,
And
do you
it's
know,
like,
Debbie?
whoa. Go
Yeah, do
ahead.
you
I'm
know?
sorry.
Sorry, Debbie. Do you know the people nowadays will not go to a land circus, performing elephants and tigers jumping through flaming hoops and all the rest of it. They don't go to land circuses anymore. But when you come to think, they won't go to a land circus, so why go to an aqua circus? It's
Right.
exactly the same thing.
That's right. Exactly. I know what you're talking about. And it needs to stop. And all it takes all of us to do that because these animals in captivity, it is so wrong. They don't have a choice in the matter, and the way they get treated behind the scenes. Oh, it's disgusting. Abuse and neglect are crimes, and they should be treated like crimes, not ignored, because we have to be their voices, everyone, and we have to take that action. We are their only hope to carry on for better lives and futures. Right, David? We
Uh,
have to do
yeah.
that. We
Oh,
cannot look
yeah.
the other way.
Well, do you know, I know you get many, many. I'm going to do a bit of charity bashing if you don't mind, because I
I
do
don't
know,
mind.
I know you get a lot of charity directors and what have you on your show. But my personal feelings about setter charities is that basically they are little money making cliques because the people that really do the hard work in informing the public about the horrors of dolphin area are of course the true activists. I don't see the charities doing a lot because they certainly don't help whistleblowers. Whistleblowers come out of the woodwork and they hope that because it's taken a lot of courage for some of these people to open their mouths and tell you what's going on. And the charities immediately, shall we say, disown them or won't talk to them and won't support them. They did it to me. They are still doing it to me. In fact, there's only one charity in the world, one set of charity that will support me and supports the truth of my story and my findings, and that is the WDC. That's Whale and Dolphin Conservation, which isn't bad because they are the biggest charity in the world. But the rest of them, I'm afraid, I really haven't got much time for. So if there's any charity director out there, set a charity director that wants to defend themselves, then by all means come on the show and defend yourself because I really don't see you doing a lot.
See, right. But hey, because we're seeing everything, and when you open your eyes and you alert someone, you're supposed to be listening, not looking the other way because they're trying to tell you for your own good. What's going on behind the scenes? What's going on behind closed doors? Do we trust all these human beings behind the scene? No, definitely not. We only wish we could, right? We only wish we could.
Yeah. Well, do you know, I actually there is a there was a UK charity, and I'll give you the name. I'm not bothered if they hear me because they know what they did, and they're called Marine Connection. In fact, the director talks an awful lot for Empty the Tanks and all the rest of it in.
Yeah. Mm. Whoa. And what I wanted to also bring up, David,
Right.
is
David's
if you. Okay, go
so,
ahead.
sorry. What I was going to say to you, David's actually still talking, but
Okay,
he's not
hold
coming
on a second.
through.
I pushed it by accident.
Uh,
David, send me an. Yeah, I did it by accident. I thought that's what happened. But on the lower right hand corner, there's
okay.
a phone icon or a mic icon. Press it to alert me you want to come back on air. And sorry that happened.
Two ticks. I'll go and try and sort him out.
Yeah, there's a phone icon or at the lower right hand corner of your phone, and there, all the listeners out there, if you do want to speak, because I'm going to be taking calls here in a few, on the lower right hand corner of your phone or your laptop or your iPad, tablet, there's a phone icon or mic icon. Press it to alert me you want to come on air, okay? And keep sharing the show and liking it, please, and help us out. Keep this podcast keep growing. Okay, but David, he didn't press it yet. I hear you, Tracy. Hold on a second. Let me see. Okay, David, you're there. I got you back on. Are you there? Can you hear me, David? Okay, can you hear me? And everyone, I'm going to have him give the website, or Tracy, the website where you can connect and check it out and educate yourself. Education is the best key, right? I mean, that you have to learn, you have to know what's going on. Open your eyes and open your mouth. And we have to listen to hey, if they're whistleblowers, they have a right to speak and then to let them know, not keep it hid.
well, that's
Or yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
Can you hear
Sorry.
me?
Yes, that is true. When we first wrote the series of books, David said they'll try to stop us, but he meant the pro captivity people. And I said they won't let them. I said because they won't let them stop us because the animal rights people will support us. And they didn't. In fact, if anything, they turned against us. Um, Now we always knew that there would be some activists out there who would always frown on a former trainer because they think, well, how did they get there in the first place? And why didn't they walk away? Well, we saw what happened to David's Dolphins when he walked away. And he's now carrying, now he knows everything that happened, he's now carrying that on his conscience as well, because he said to me, I shouldn't have gone. So anyway, the point is, I can understand some activists being critical, but the people who work in these places, as I said before, they stay. Some of those people stay because they can't trust anybody else to look after their dolphins or their animals. Some people in zoos, it's the management, and they put pressure on the people they work for work for them for shows, etc. And some of those people who work them, it's like any place where you get vulnerability, elderly persons' homes, schools, people with learning difficulties, zoos, everything. They attract people who want to do that job and want to help, but they also attract people who want to harm. And they can do it. If somebody hasn't got a voice, they can do it. And a lot of the people who worked, who these witness testimonies are coming in from, they are anonymous because they are threatened. They get threatened by the people who are making the money out of this industry. They threaten them, they threaten the families, and it's physical threats, and they're frightened. So,
Whoa, it's just so sad hearing all this, abuse going on and how they're getting treated. They're defenseless, helpless, voiceless, and it's terrible. And if we don't fight for them and get them out of there, it's just going to continue. It's going to continue on. Our voices do matter, everyone. Don't go out and buy them tickets, okay? And
yeah.
encourage other ones to. Let them tell you, hey, open your eyes, educate yourself. What's going on behind the scenes here? It's wrong. And I've had so many shows, Tracy, where you learn something new every day, and it's like it's so mind blowing and horrific what's going on. It's not minor problems; it's massive
Oh,
across the globe.
it is.
It's terrible. Yep.
I've heard from friends who've worked not in Dolphin area but worked in other areas, who've had to flee. One girl I spoke to had to flee during the night for her life, because she was going to expose abuse. Um, I can't tell you who or what it was, but because she's frightened too, but she had to flee for her life.
Mm.
Um, so it's just dreadful. I just noticed that David's lost his microphone again. At the moment, I'm on as David and David's on mine, but he's lost it again. I'm just going to go and try and reconnect him.
Okay, yeah, it's coming in under his name, so you're fine there. But yours, press that on the bottom of the screen, the mic icon or the phone icon at the bottom. Press it to alert me you want to come back on air because his is showing now. Okay, David, can you hear me?
Yes, because now I'm on Tracy's computer.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Musical mics.
it is. Yeah, it is. It's yeah.
That was a good one.
I have been listening though. I've been listening to what Tracy's been saying, and she's virtually covered everything. Um, it's just again, as I say, there are any ex-trainers or presenters out there in the US who wish to clear their conscious and expose what they've seen, then just get in touch with www.theperfectpairdolphintrilogy.com, and we will sort it out. And we need as many people as forward, because although we've got a lot of UK trainers and presenters coming in, thus far we've had no one from the US and no one from Europe. Uh, and it's strange because this is, of course, where dolphin area is still alive and kicking. So we can see that there is obviously a lot of fear out there because these companies are run by gangsters. And I'm not joking when I say that. They are gangster companies. Do you know, there's a one in. I spoke up in a court case recently in Turkey for a lady called Tracy Holroyd who asked me to give an expert witness statement. And you know, some of the things, I mean, filing teeth down of dolphins because they don't want them to nip a kid on a swim with dolphins program, and even worse, pulling the teeth, all
Mm,
the teeth from a dolphin. Now you can't put it to sleep, so they pulled all its teeth out, um, and lo and behold, the dolphin went through, well, agony. It kept, its mouth kept getting infected and reinfected, and lo and behold, within 4 months, it died. Well, surprise, surprise. These are the kind of people that are running this industry, especially in Europe. And from what I'm seeing in America of late, with what's been going on with Gulf World, I think they're there as well. It attracts a certain kind of shall we say gangster, uncaring in every possible way.
mm, so sickening. I mean, it is ah disgusting, everyone. And just to hear this stuff. And I wanted to bring some positive news in there, David, because I was sharing it the other day, and we can't say it does not, it can't happen or does not happen. But in Mexico, I know you know about this,
Yeah,
where yes, we had a victory in Mexico, everyone. No more dolphin entertainment, okay? And I was passing it all over the place and is planning to release 350 dolphins.
that's
So
great.
isn't that great? So it
It's
can keep going. You
yeah.
know, that didn't
So
take just happen overnight. That take a lot of fighting and voices coming together and teamwork. But I read that I was like, yes, this is great.
yeah,
Thank you, Mexico, because
yeah.
that means a lot, and
It
that
does.
means it can happen every country and every state in the United States.
That's
We work
right.
hard enough. We can never say never.
No,
Okay.
no. Change
Yep.
can only come from within. And there's been enough people cared about it in Mexico. Now, come on, come on, US, get your act together and let's get rid of this industry.
That's right. There's no need for it. Get the Dolphins released.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
let's see them. The abuse and neglect stop,
yeah.
not continue. Who's paying the price? They are,
That's
and
right.
it's sad. And it's not us. It's
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
So we got to keep fighting, everyone, because
yeah.
if we don't, we don't want 10 years from now it's still happening, 10 years after that.
Yeah.
We want to stop. There's no need for it.
No, I've just
There is
got a
no
message.
need.
Yeah.
I've got a message just come through here from a lady. She said after these dolphins are released, so I'm thinking that she's talking about the Mexican dolphins that we're talking about now. Will they be able to survive after being in captivity?
Good
Well,
question. Yes.
okay, it is a good question, and I think they will. We know we hear all this sanctuary talk and all the rest of it. But do you know if you release the dolphin or the whale, and I'm talking about killer whales here, orcas, where they were caught? I mean, you've got to remember we're dealing with super smart Atlanteans here. If you release them where they were caught, there is a chance, and I believe it's a very good chance, that they will be taken in to the pod where they come from originally, and they will go there and they will be looked after and they will be rehabilitated by their own kind. And if that doesn't is that's not the case, because I know a lot of people would say that won't happen. Well, as bad as this sounds, at least they die free. and that's all I can say. We need to get these dolphins uh, released, and if you put them to where they were originally caught, there is every chance that they will be taken in by their mother pod and they'll be looked after. And that certainly goes with orcas, because orcas, believe it or not, speak different languages. They actually speak different languages. The resident orcas and the traveling orcas, they're actually different. So if you catch the orca in a certain place, the family unit will still be actually swimming around in that in that sea, in that area. So again, you're dealing with super smart Atlanteans, and they will look after their own. It's better than dying in a concrete tank.
Right, exactly. That is no kind of life for them. It's so sad and heartbreaking. And both of you, Tracy and David, you ready to take some calls
Yeah, sure.
from
Yeah.
the? Okay. And if anybody has any questions or comments for Tracy or David, let me alert me in the lower right hand corner of your phone or laptop, iPad, tablet. Just press it, and that'll alert me that you want to come on air. Okay. And out there, thank you all new listeners that came in the chat room. Please follow me as the host, and also follow me on the web, Voices Carry for Animals podcast on Podbean Podcasts. Okay, web. So if you have any questions, and with David and Tracy, if you right now, if you give out your website again, and also because all these shows are archived, everyone, so you can always go back and listen and share 24/7. Okay, so if you ever miss one or you're late and you want to go back and get information, it's there. So and keep spread it, share on your social media wherever. Facebook or X or LinkedIn, wherever you're at, and get more people educated on it, open their eyes, because there's some terrible stuff going on, and it's been going on for many, many years. And these poor dolphins they're paying the price, and the pain and suffering, and it's just so inhumane, isn't it? And it's just there's no excuses for it,
There's
and
not.
they
There's
they
not.
all deserve better, But go ahead and give your website out and everything, because oh, there it is. It's in the chat room, everyone. So
That's right. It's there. Tracy's doing
yeah,
the. She's doing the
thank
work.
you, Tracy. Yes, that's what I call teamwork. I love the teamwork. I'm all about it. I believe in teamwork all the way. That's what it takes to see the victories and the good news. And if we all work together, and we are all better together and stronger together than apart. Strength in numbers, Mama Cat. I'm using that again because it's so true. Power in numbers.
It
You
certainly
know,
is. I know I've said an awful lot on here that's
you
probably
can.
very.
It's no problem. It's all important there, David.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
Well,
Every
it's
bit of it.
Well, I know
Yep.
it's very disturbing, some of what I've said, but everything I have said, I stand by. Everything I have revealed and I have exposed to you on this show, and of course in the books, can be backed up. In other words, it's all true. And don't believe this glitzy propaganda that you hear from the dolphin companies with happy smiling dolphins, because a lot of these dolphins suffer from deep psychological problems because they're just swimming around and around in a concrete bowl. And when we get shows stopped and they say, well, we've stopped, activists say we've stopped the orca performing, it's a victory. It isn't a victory, because they may have stopped the orca performing, but again, I go back to just how super smart these Atlanteans are. They need stimulation, and they need to be worked. You either work them or you let them go. There are no in betweens. That is the stark choice. You work them until they die, or you let them go, and that's it.
Right. And it's but everyone please, visit the website, see how you can help them out. Hey, the more support they get, the better. Coming their way, and we can hear another victory like Mexico. I mean, I've seen that. Dave and Trace, I was like, yes, this is awesome. Here comes a major victory here. I love seeing those victories, and I know we all do too. That's what we strive for. Working together, and don't give up. If you need a break, take a break. Come back, refresh yourself, come back a lot stronger, and keep the fight up because they need us. They can't do without us. Can you imagine if there was no animal advocates out there, animal rights activists? Oh, it would be a real total disaster. So big
Wouldn't it?
shout out to all of you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes,
We've all
yes.
got to be there because we are the voice. They have none.
That's right. They cannot go and tell us how, call us up on the phone or call the police or anything.
Yeah,
It's up to us to take care of business, okay?
yeah.
Go after
But
get stronger laws and tougher penalties.
yeah. By
You
the
know,
way,
there-
Debbie, I'm sorry to interrupt you again. If there are any press, U.S. press out there who wish to speak to me, they can contact us on that website because I am quite willing to give an interview to anybody, anywhere, anytime, so I can show the public just how vile this industry is.
and they
So if
need to
they've
know.
yeah,
Yeah,
they do. I mean, what you're hearing now, I am, as I've said, I'm sure shocked a great many people, but it's all true. It's all true.
that's right. We have to do something. We can't just close our eyes, look the other way, sweep it under the carpet. This is massive here. We have to do something. It's almost 2026 coming up. We're in the
That's right.
21st century. Look at how everything was. It was back in the 20th century.
You'd think
We
so.
can't. We can't do nothing about the past, but we sure can for the future. It doesn't stop there. We become
Yeah,
stronger and get rid of them. Let's
that's
go.
true.
Let's follow the leader, Mexico. Okay, and do away with it. Has banned dolphin entertainment. This is wonderful.
That's
That gave me
correct.
a big smile on my face when I seen that, and I instantly shared it
Yeah,
everywhere. I did.
yeah, yeah.
I said, I'm not going to let this one pass up,
No.
because it's great news.
Well, you won't get any
So
better. We just need it to happen now in the States because let's face it, if it stops in America, it will stop in Europe as well. Because most of the people who go and see these shows are tourists. I mean, look here in the UK, as you know, there are no more dolphin shows. Even though it's not illegal, there are no dolphin shows. So what happens is, come holiday time, to come vacation time, the UK citizens all jump on planes, go to Spain or France or Turkey, and then they all go running into to see a dolphin show. It doesn't make any sense. I mean,
I
why
know.
do they think it stopped here so that they can go and then feed the industry over there? Um, and also, if if the dolphin shows stop, so will the Taji slaughter, because the Taji slaughter and other places around in Japan that are taking up this slaughtering of dolphins. It isn't about the slaughter. It isn't about tradition. It's about selling pretty dolphins to the aqua circus. A raw dolphin taken from the seas of Japan will sell for about £170,000. Now, in dollars, that would probably be about $185,000, $190,000. I mean, that is huge money. Huge
Yes.
money. So you can
Mm.
see where the gangster element comes in, because when you're dealing with that kind of money, I mean, Taiji in Japan is a mafia town. You don't hear them say it, but it is run by the probably the yakuza. But there's enough of them over there. But it is run by these people, and it is exploited by these people because the money is so big. And if you
Mm.
stop paying to see dolphins, then they'll stop finding buyers to buy dolphins, and then you'll find Taji, if it doesn't stop, it will go back to what it was, and that's killing a few hundred dolphins a year instead of thousands.
Right. What's going on? It's like, come on, everyone. We got to get stronger or something. We have to, in order to see change, we got to take action. No questions asked.
Uh-huh.
Get on that social media, share, share, share for the mama bear, okay? And Mama Bear does care because she's on the air, okay? Because I notice all the time, David and Tracy, there's so many pages and groups out there. There's more likes. You'll have like on these big pages, you'll have like 400 or 500 likes and like 20 shares. It's like, come on, people, we could do better than that because likes doesn't serve no justice. At least when you share it, it goes out in the newsfeed and gets more attention, goes viral.
That's true. That's true.
So
It's
press
the
that
same.
share.
It's the
Yes,
same. It's the same when you go on Twitter, or X as they call it now. I mean, putting a like on something, it's not worth it. You either share it or you don't share it. Uh,
right,
but if you want to get the message over, you share, and um, and you need support. Activists need to support each other. They don't need to backbite or fight with each other, because they've been doing this for decades and achieving nothing. You've got
right,
to work together as a collective. And I mean this as well when I talk about the charities. Instead of all sitting in little corners making money, if they all got together, maybe this industry would be on its knees now. I don't say it will have stopped, but it could be on its knees. We've all got to work together. And this is why I have such a hangle about the set of charities. They don't work together, and they certainly don't respect the activists. The only time they like them is when they're giving them donations.
see, it's not, whoa, it's not right. But anyway, Aloha, did you want to get on air?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, go
Hello.
ahead. Hi, well,
Hello,
thanks for all
David.
your ongoing support there. I Facebook friend, awesome. Go ahead.
And I just want to thank you, David and Tracy, on speaking against cruelty against the dolphins, because as a vegan myself, it's considered speciesism, whereas only dogs and cats are respected, but not other creatures such as the sea creatures, the farm animals as well.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Tracy, I must admit, I'm a bit of a cop out here, but Tracy is a vegetarian,
Oh,
um,
it's okay. I'll change.
and she's very much into this. And as I said, I'm a bit of a cop out because
Oh,
I,
well, you
I I
try.
am well. We've got a 93-year-old mum
Mm.
who still likes a steak, so of course it's very difficult. But Tracy's maintained it for, I think, the last 40, 50 years.
Wow.
50 years, yeah. She's so and but please don't hold that against me. I'm
I
sure
won't. I
eventually
won't.
I'll try,
No.
and I'm trying to put as much right as I can, obviously, because with certainly when it comes to cetaceans, dolphins, and whales, because that's my expertise. That's what I know about, uh, and I'm not really qualified to speak on anything else. But I do get where you're coming from about cruelty to all animals, including those that
Yes.
many of us eat.
You're sort of there with Jane Goodall. If you don't want me putting you up next to her, may she rest in peace.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, she
What
was a great lady.
she was what, 91? You know, that's a great long life if you think about it, because we're not going to be living until we're 200. You know what I mean? How are you? 150? How are you? 400?
Yeah,
So we got some, when you look at 91 years old, that's really good. You think about it. And when the ones that hit 100, that's really, really good. You're really, truly blessed. So we all got to say goodbye when that birth certificate turns into a death certificate, right? We're
yeah,
all,
Yes.
no matter who you are or what, you could be homeless, middle class, poor, rich, the richest person in the world. We're all going to go down that same path.
yeah. When you
No
gotta go,
questions
you gotta
asked.
go.
That's right. So we could be here today and gone today. I've
Yeah,
known so many through my life. Hey, you just say goodbye to them, and next thing you get a call, they're dead.
yeah,
It's unbelievable. All
How
ages, death
things
don't
come out.
discriminate.
yeah,
So would she led a good life, a long life? May she
Yes.
rest in peace. You
that was
know.
doing what she loved. She did what she loved. That lady,
Yep.
she really did. She made a difference, and that's all we can hope to do. Uh, Patricia, how do you feel about captive dolphins and whales?
Who?
Is it the lady I'm talking to? Is it
Oh no,
Oh,
that's Aloha.
my name's
Aloha. That's
yeah,
yeah, that's heroin.
Arilan, aka Aloha
Oh, you're
1978.
alone. Okay, I've got
Yes.
things lighting up here, and I am not tech savvy. So
Oh,
this
no
is why
problem. Me too.
this is why I was saying to Debbie, I don't want to touch anything because if I do, I could be gone forever. That's how bad I am.
Oh, I'm bad at it. I'm still catching up with the app.
Hey, I want to do a shout out to Erica Salvamini, the Rising Linus. We used All About Animals Radio. They closed down this year, but that's who hooked me and Tracy up, and David. And Erica's the Rising Linus. She's awesome. She's interviewed me on All About Animals Radio. And I remember, doing the interview, and then after, no one too long of that she was telling me about you two, and I was like, yeah, of course. And I did alert her, but she's, I believe she can't make it today, but I'll, give her the show. But I want to give her a shout out. She's awesome.
Oh,
She's
good. I've just got a very interesting message come through, Debbie. Somebody's telling me to reach out to. I'm not sure whether I should say the name, but it's a former MSNBC host. Are you getting that?
where? Oh, a
Uh,
former Jane Velez Mitchell. There you go. She's good. She was a guest on my show several times back
oh,
when I was
right.
on TS Radio Network. She's
Oh,
awesome. That
great,
Jane,
great.
yeah,
Well,
yep.
I will try and reach out to her. Yeah.
Yeah, I even sent it to you. She was on. She wasn't on MSNBC. She was a former on CNN.
Ah,
Um,
right.
that
Okay.
was back over probably almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, look. The passion never dies.
That's right.
So we may all get a bit more wrinkly, but the passion never dies.
Yeah, she was on Issues. I think it was named Issues on CNN back
Uh-huh.
then. And then she got her own. She's on her Facebook page is on there. I'll send it to you, okay?
Okay, that'd be
And
great.
I'm
Yeah.
even friends with her on Facebook. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, she's awesome. She's a great, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
We.
is. She is
I'm getting.
strong.
I'm getting messages coming all the time here. We've got. She is amazing. She is an amazing animal activist. And I've got
Yes,
another guy, Michael Setario, liked the show. They're
Michelle,
coming in. Yeah.
Michael.
Michelle. Michelle. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's an awesome. She is. Michelle, she gets down too. She is
Yeah,
unbelievable. She's a
great.
two super team player. You know.
Oh, smashing. So great to see so many people connecting.
I know, and it's great. I got a great super team players going on here. I'm very thankful and blessed. You know. We
Uh-huh.
all work together. We're not working against each other, you know. We
Yeah.
don't get politics involved, and that's a plus.
Yeah.
Because these
Oh
people
yeah.
out there on social media want to waste their time all day fighting
Yeah.
with other ones, you know, the red and blue people and all
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're getting zero accomplishments because they're not getting nowhere. They're fighting with invisible cyberspace friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No,
it's
it's no.
not worth it. You know, it's like you're
No.
not going to change their mind. You know, they act like they want to kill each other over this stuff.
It, yeah, sure.
It's
Well,
too much.
well, we always say here in England, we say when you go to the pub, never talk about politics or religion. Talk
Right.
about football and everything else, or sports or anything, but don't talk about politics or religion because you just end up getting in a fight.
That's right. And it's not worth it, you know?
It's not, no.
No, no. And David, she is on Unchained TV, you
Okay.
know?
Yeah,
And she has like over 800,000 followers, okay, on
yeah,
Facebook.
yeah.
And she is a great, and when she was on the show, she was like, wow, you know, and
Great.
I used to watch her shows, right? Way
Uh-huh.
before I was on the radio.
Yeah,
And I mean, loved her show. Um, and then I thought, you know, I'm gonna get a hold of, you know, get on Facebook, make friends with her and stuff, and asked her to come on the show. I got her email, and she did. And I'm like, back then I never thought I would be interviewing her. See, you never know the future.
no, no. And so I'll definitely, when you send me her details, I'll definitely give a name drop.
Yes,
So we to see what can happen because, as I say, we are willing to talk to anyone who's willing to listen, because only by working together and only by educating the public to what
yep,
is going on can we stand any chance of stopping this industry.
that's right. And you know who else I'd like to hook you up with because it's one of her hosts on Action Hour is hosted by Lindsay Baker.
Uh
I've
huh.
been, yeah, she's another one. She has some good shows and stuff, you know. I
Yeah.
know. Yes, yes.
Well, look, I mean, we are in your hands, Debbie. So you send the gear over to us. You send all the info, because obviously these are American activists or celebrities, and of course, we don't see or hear them here this side of the pond.
Okay, I will do that because the more I've seen so many of my guests in the past
Uh-huh.
connect and work together, I not thought that was wonderful. You know,
That, that's great.
working and just expanding and connecting on it. I was like, look at this podcast, you know, connecting all kind. I meet more and more, and
Uh-huh.
just spreading the word. And that teamwork is so important, everyone. It takes teamwork on everything we do out there, you know, whether we're at the jobs or, you know, whatever your profession is. You can't do it alone, just like I can't do this podcast alone. I get a lot of help, you know, with promoting it every Thursday. I can't do it by myself. I get help with helping the animals out. I looked at Fans of Animal Rights. Was in contact with them. They have over like 300 some thousand, you know, followers and stuff. And I say thank you so much for your ongoing support because they've been beside me for years, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, even on X, all the big animal groups, this list is huge, you know, and on Facebook, followers and friends that's involved. You know, thank you all because it means so much, you know,
Yeah.
to keep doing this. And like I said, I do my best, but I
Yeah.
can't do it alone, and
Yeah.
that's what it takes.
Well, it
But
does, and you've got some great people because the messages are still flashing up here on the computer. As I said, I can't. I think Tracy's answering them. I'm not sure because she's 2 rooms away now on my on my computer, and I'm now on hers, as you know, because of the
You got
mix-up. So
switched.
I don't really know what's going on. You see, in the other two rooms. So, but
and you
anyway,
get and you guys are brother and sister. That's great. You get
yeah.
along and look at all the work you do together, and that
Oh yeah,
you're a true inspiration to all of us. You know,
yeah,
all of us.
yeah.
It's
Well, we do.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, that is great.
Now I've got.
Keep
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah, well, we will. As I said, I couldn't have done what I've done without Tracy, because Tracy was a brilliant author in her own right, and was very widely published. And then I wrote the Perfect Pair Dolphin Trilogy. She, of course, helped me write it because I was a newbie, really,
A
on the
newbie.
writing scene.
That's what I
Yeah,
was when I first came over to Podbean.
yeah. Well, well,
and
you see, she helped me, and because the of writing that book, Tracy lost her agent, her and she lost all her lecturing work. This is how they tried to stop the story in the UK. In fact,
mm,
it's still suffering a part media block here because we obviously frightened some very powerful people to death with what we exposed.
mm,
So,
whoa.
so if you've got a chance, you people out there, go on because it's available on Kindle, Amazon Kindle, the Perfect Pair Dolphin Trilogy. It's the Perfect Pair, the Enchanted Mirror, the Perfect Pair, the Mirror Cracks, and the Perfect Pair, Shards from the Mirror. It's only cheap on Kindle. You can give it a read, and I think you will be fascinated by it because I literally put the reader on my shoulder. I write it full of emotion, um, and well, it's being used now in many education venues. Um, so obviously it must be well written. So try and give it, look it up on Amazon and and buy it. It's as simple as that. It's not going to cost you a lot, and I think you'll learn more about captive dolphins and whales than than reading anything else. So I've got my plug in now. I've got my plug in, and I hope you're going to take it up.
Okay, does anybody, aloha, or did you have any more questions for David?
Uh,
'Cause you can go ahead and speak.
oh, I
Go
just want
ahead.
to say thank you. My last words. And Tracy.
Okay, and
Shout out to
thank you for all your
Tracy.
support and calling in and everything. Love it.
Thanks for
Yeah,
taking my
thank
call,
you.
Debbie.
Thank you all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tracy and David.
Okay,
Did,
thank you.
Thank
did,
you.
hey, Yvonne, or did you want to speak? She was one of my former guests. She's in there. I love when I see former guests in there. You know, it's teamwork.
Uh-huh.
I told them they could come in any time, join in, be a caller. You know, the more voices out there and action takers, the better. We're hitting in the right, putting the right foot in the right direction. You know, so. But Mama Cat, did you want to speak? Mama Cat, where you at? Mama Bear's looking for you.
What can you still find?
There she is. Who's he? The Mama Cat. How you feeling, Mama Cat?
I'm feeling a lot better.
Good. You sound good. You know that's a huge plus. You
I
know,
tell
keep.
you what, these shingles are no joke, man.
Shingles. Dreadful.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Mm.
Uh,
I know,
well,
and
it's
so glad
certainly
you're
not.
better.
It's
it's
not stopped
lasting.
Mama Cat typing because she's been sending some fabulous messages through.
She's multitasking. We like to multitask, don't we, Mama Cat?
We
But
do, and I don't let nothing stop me. If
that's
your show is on, I don't care where I'm at, I'm on the show.
I noticed that. You know, David and Tracy, she called in from the ICU before, okay? And where she was getting tested at another time. And the other one was the other one. I couldn't believe it. And
I was
it,
I was in the
recovery
recovery
room.
room.
She looked, and I was cracking up because I said, watch her show up, because you told me. I love it. She's a former guest. How many times? That's great, Mama Cat. And
Yeah.
filled in. She's like my tag team. She's right there, you know?
I've spoken to her before, and the last time we were on the show, we were speaking with her.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, she was
Shit,
on the
everybody remembers Mama Cat, and no
yeah,
questions
yeah.
asked.
Can I say just a hello to Shelley Gwynn? She was on your show last time, but she's traveling at the moment. She's on a field trip, I think. I don't know, but I just want to say hello and thank you for all your support. She's one of our top US supporters and
Yes.
Swim for Freedom Marine Mammal Advocates. You're a star, Shelley. Thank you.
That's it. I know who you're talking about because I think she called in on your show, didn't she? Or
She
something.
did.
And I was sending her an invitation, and I got to get back with her, you know. But she's great too. She spoke even after several shows after that. But hello, Shelley. You rock there, woman.
We
Yep.
should get her on the show.
Yeah, I'm going. I was trying. I think I sent her a invitation before. Because now, Mama Cat, this thing, we're rocking the airways, which is a plus. And I'm booked up for the rest of the year. And I got them lining up coming in next year. So,
Wow.
some.
Wow.
Oh,
All
Great.
right.
That's the
Yep.
way.
hey,
That's the way. Great.
I'm
you
doing
might have
something right.
you might have to go to 2 days a week, Deb.
Oh my goodness. Hey, if I do 2 days a week, you coming with me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, your what you wrote Mama Cat dedication is priceless. You are so but where is Buford at? I can't believe I haven't seen him on the 500 show.
I didn't feel that it was appropriate to put Buford in just yet.
All right. You got this because we all need to laugh sometimes from all this stuff that's going on.
We do.
Whoa, we got to break the monotony because there's
Just
so much
crazy.
there's so much wickedness and cruelty going on.
You
You
know,
know.
I got to tell you, I brought up the Dolphins in captivity with a friend of mine they were going to Florida and they were going to go to SeaWorld or whatever the aquarium down there was. And I was filling her in on, what's going on with the Dolphins and the horrible abuse that they, are put through and everything. And oh my goodness, I thought I was going to lose a very dear friend over it. She told me how stupid that was. And
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm talking about. And they're so loving and caring. And you can tell that the animals love where they are by the way they act. I was like, look, if you got shot up every day with a shock device or hit or beat or food taken away from you for not doing what they want, you'll look happy too.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know, you're quite right. I hear this a lot because obviously, with me being a whistleblower, I mean, I was probably the original whistleblower here in the UK. Um, my former colleagues, most of them, won't even speak to me. Um, and they won't speak to me because I have exposed what they
What they're
didn't
doing.
want
Right.
me to expose,
Yep.
and I've said to them, "Look, I will argue with you anytime on radio or podcast or whatever. I will give you an argument, but they won't come on because the truth of it is." They didn't achieve anything near to what I ever achieved. So I know it sounds as if I'm blowing my own trumpet there, but it does help when you are trying to silence these people who are telling you that everything is rosy in
Right.
the aquarium because it's not, as we
It's
all
not.
know. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sad what they put them little critters through.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is. They need to be back in the sea. They swim hundreds and hundreds of miles in an ocean, and somebody puts them in a concrete fishbowl and think that's okay. I'm
Right.
sorry, it's not okay, and I don't care how impressive the venue is, such as SeaWorld, obviously. I mean, it looks marvelous, but no matter how impressive and how luxurious it is still a prison,
Right.
and
Yep.
that really is it. There is no argument. It's a prison.
That's
Um,
right.
so when your friend comes to you again and tells you that's rubbish and they're all happy being locked up in a prison, well, you can fill her in a little bit more.
I sent her a bunch of articles, and I believe I sent her to your website and
Uh-huh.
told her, look, don't believe me, read it, find out for
Uh,
yourself, do a little research.
Yeah.
Facts. The
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't
I,
like facts.
no,
They don't like facts.
it's Tracy here, but I was just going to say some people don't want to know because some people just don't care. They feel more about their own entertainment and whether they're going to enjoy their holiday or it's all about them. And they don't care what happens to anyone or anything else.
Yeah.
And
She told me, well, where am I supposed to go to see them? This is the only places that we can go. I was like, well, let's see. I got my happy butt in a boat and I went out into the Gulf, and there they were looking me dead in my eyeballs. So if you want to see a real happy dolphin, go to the
That-
ocean. That's where they are. That's where
that's
they
my,
belong.
And
that's
that's where freedom, freedom. Oh, they need the freedom.
I'll never
And
forget the first time I saw dolphins. I mean, it was amazing. My sister lives in Pensacola, and they took us out on their boat. And oh my goodness, it was just, there was seven of them. There was more a little further away, but these seven swam right up to the boat, and they were making their little noises and stuff. And I mean, I had little tears running down my eye. I couldn't believe that they were, so trusting of people, which of course is probably why they get captured so easily. Um, but it was amazing. And they swam right alongside our boat for the longest time.
that's
Hmm.
well,
fabulous.
that
It's fabulous to experience that
Yeah,
because
I had a similar experience just less than a year ago. I was taken out. I did an interview and they asked me to uh, to they flew me down to a place called Penzance here in the UK, and they took me out on the boats to see the wild dolphins, and of course I was doing a commentary as well. Um, um, and I hadn't seen, believe it or not, I'd been a trainer, and yet I'd never seen a wild dolphin until just short of a year ago when I went down to Penzance, and I actually told the captain. He said to me, he said, "Now we may not see any dolphin." He said because the season is ending, and the boat trips stop in 2 days. So we'll be lucky if we see any dolphin. And I've been telling you about this Atlantean connection. And I said to him, if they're there, they'll come. And I was on the boat, and when I was training, I always felt this Atlantean connection because I used to be overcome with nausea. I used to feel sometimes like I was going to vomit. It was so strong, and the same thing hit me. And remember, I was only a 18-year-old boy when I started Dolphins, and now I'm in my 70s, and the
Whoa.
same feeling hit me when I was on that boat. And all of a sudden, the captain shouted, "Dolphins coming in off the port bow." There was about 20 of them. And then
Huh.
he said, "Whoa," he said, "more dolphins coming in." He said, "Over from the other side." And there was another 13. We had two pods of dolphin. And the cameraman who was with me, who was actually filming me, he said to me, did you actually call them?" And he looked at me because I told him I would. And I said, "Yeah, I called them like I said I would." And he looked at me. I'm sure he still didn't believe me, but he couldn't disbelieve two pods that swam alongside the boats when there wasn't supposed to be any dolphins in the area.
Ah.
So, so you see, this never, this Atlantic connection, which I constantly try and push because I think the public need to embrace this. This is it is alive, it is well, it is real, and our governments know about it, but don't tell the public about it.
right?
Yep.
I
Whoa.
got to admit, when I saw those dolphins come right up to the boat, it was almost like they were, telepathically communicating with us on the boat. And
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
said, it was just an amazing feeling.
Remember, they're the people of the sea. You are the people of the land, and you are both. We are both supposedly in intelligent species, first and second in this planet. And I'm not saying which one of them's first or which one of them's second either. But if two intelligent species meet, they are going to be infatuated with each other, and this is why when you see these, I mean, we had a beluga that was off Russia, that they found it with a harness, if you remember. It was about a year ago. The poor thing ended up dying, but it sought out humans, because this is what it does. This fascination, as we are fascinated by dolphins and whales, they are equally fascinated by us. And this connection, this the way we bond together, uh, well, it's truly fantastic. We've just got to open our minds and our hearts to this, and push all the non-believers out, and because most of the non-believers are non-believers, because there's normally a a uh, a cash balance at the other side.
Yeah.
That's it. And you know that with these, if we just like the orca whales, they're beautiful too. They're
Yeah,
awesome, and
yeah.
don't like see them in captivity. They need
No.
to run free, and
Yeah.
and they're not. Yes, it's so
Orcas.
sad.
Well, they don't. Killer whales don't kill people unless they're in a dolphinarium.
You
They don't
see?
kill them at sea. They only kill them in a dolphinarium, and that's because they suffer from deep psychological problems. I mean, how can you put a majestic creature like that in a
Mm,
small pool? How? I mean,
right.
Marine Land, which has just closed its doors, thank goodness.
Yep.
Uh, they had the orca in there. That orca couldn't straighten itself out. Its backbone, it was bowing. Its backbone was bowing. It couldn't straighten itself out. And of course, it was never going to get its freedom, so it died.
Mm,
Well, but that's what happens to them all, because they're worth too much money to the owner or owners. So they're never going to give it its freedom, because who's going to throw money down the drain? These
Right.
people won't. They own the dolphins and the whales because they're worth money. Money rules. So you can forget freedom or all the sob stories that these companies try to put onto the general public. Forget these sob stories. They're merely propaganda, and that's all it is, and that's all it ever will be.
that's it. And you know what, David? I seen some with the Miami Sea Aquarium. I see some the other day. It said may disappear soon. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, yes, here goes another one.
yeah.
I hope so. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't. They're not needed. Do we need them? No.
No.
So 5 decades. I'm reading it right now,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
may disappear soon.
Well, it
So I hope
has
so.
a very bad record. It
Yep.
has a bad record in the US, Miami Sea Aquarium. So
Yep.
worldwide, it has an even worse one. That place needs to be closed
The
permanently.
hellhole. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. But they need. I so say all animals deserve better. Okay.
Uh huh.
And that's what we're doing from all angles here, because voices carry for animals for all of them. So we have to help them, and if
Uh huh.
we cannot close our eyes, ignore it, because there's issues out there.
Uh-huh.
They say to blame it on society. Hey, everyone, we are society, and we
We
can do
are.
something.
Yeah.
Don't look the other way. Do every effort counts out there. Let's make it a better world for them to live in,
Yeah.
better futures,
Yeah.
not in captivity from the zoos, the circuses, the aquariums. Let's get them out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't need to be in there. They
Hey,
No.
need
David.
freedom. Yep, they need to be in there. So,
Yeah.
but
I
anyway,
have a
I'm gonna
question.
be. Go
Wait,
ahead.
I
I'm
have a
gonna be.
question for David quick.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
You're more than
Um,
welcome.
do you know if there's any child books for children about this topic?
Yeah, if you go on, I haven't written these, or Tracy hasn't, but we have got them on our website, so they will be on Amazon in the US as well, I would imagine. So if you go on our website, and you can look down at what's on it, and that will send you. There's a link that will send you where you can purchase them on Amazon. Nothing to
Okay.
do with us. We're not making anything out of them. I put them on because I feel that everybody should have a chance of reading other people's stuff, and they are for children, obviously. Whereas the trilogy is an adult's read.
Okay.
Yep,
I was just curious because I try to buy books for the local school over here that my grandkids go to,
Uh-huh.
and that would be about animal advocacy. So that would be an interesting one for the school to have, I think.
Yeah.
For the kids.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Teach
Well.
them when they're young. Remember that's
Yeah.
it. When you teach them young, and they with dignity and respect and educate them. I wish there was more in the schools.
Yeah.
Then they go through their forehead forward into their lives.
Yeah.
Doing the same.
Yeah.
And being a positive advocate, not a negative one.
Yeah.
They deserve to know. We can't hide it from them. Let them know the truth. No sugarcoating it.
That's right.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
let them
Too
know
many.
really what's going on.
That's
Yep.
well, like I said during this interview, and all the other interviews that I do, I don't pull punches on this because I feel very passionate, as I know you do, because of your podcast. Uh, I mean, I do feel very passionate about it. Tracy feels equally as passionate, if not more so than myself, because she's been a huge animal advocate long before I was. Um, because I was, of course, I had a foot in the other camp at the time. Um, but now, of course, we work together, and we hope we're bringing the truth to as many people as we can get the truth out to.
That's right, and it means so much. We got to know the truth and reality of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't hide it. And we
yeah,
need whistleblowers to tell the truth and to
yeah,
speak out. Because if
yeah,
we don't, the problem is it's going to get worse. So we need to know. It's
yeah,
just not a
yeah,
pretty picture out there. It's not wonderful for them out there. They're
yeah,
not happy. Okay,
yeah.
and we have to. But anyway, everyone, I'm going to close down the show, and I
Okay,
want to thank you, Tracy and David, for coming on again, and looking forward to having you both back on in 2026. How's that?
that
And
that
yeah,
that would be
and
great.
yes, and Tracy, you tell your mother. What's her first name?
Barbara.
Barbara, hello, Barbara, and
Hi,
sending you,
Barbara.
yeah, and I'm sending you Mama Bear hugs, Barbara, okay, and Tracy, and send it right to UK from Florida, okay, and it was another great show, and I got in 2 weeks I'm going to have another guest from the UK. Her name's Cheryl Joyce. She's the founder and CEO of Pet Pardon. Have you heard of her? She's going to
No.
be my guest, and she's a newbie, so she does a lot of rescues and all that. And want to welcome her aboard. And Spencer Hodgetts, I've had him guest many times. He's on Rebound Dog. He's from the UK. He's the one who hooked me up with her. So it was
Right.
wonderful. Teamwork all the way. I love that. Yes,
Yeah.
but I can't thank both of you enough, and keep up the great work, and keep it means teamwork. I believe in teamwork all the way. That's how you see the victories, working together, not apart. Strength in numbers, right, Mama Cat?
That's right.
but anyway, we're next week. I'm going back to 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Mountain, and 4 o'clock Pacific. Listening worldwide, everyone. The following after that will be at 3 o'clock for Cheryl Joyce, the founder and CEO of Pet Pardon. When they're out of the country like that, I try to change the time. It's no problem at all. So their listeners in the country can listen to at a reasonable time, not at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. So, but
Thank you for accommodating us. It's been another fantastic show, Debbie.
oh, thank you so much. It means a lot. I do my best and love having you both on and keep it up. You're a true inspiration to all of us. Even at the Dolphins and the workers, let's get them to freedom. With our voices, the animals will be heard. With our actions, the animals will seek freedom. Okay? Freedom is a huge positive word, powerful, and so is victory. So, right, if you think about it, and you're doing everything you can, and with more people supporting you, And I want to really thank you again for putting my uh, Podbean, host website on your website under friends. That's awesome, and check
Yeah,
it
well,
out, everyone. Yes,
we got to help each other. Like you said, connect with each other, support each other, because in doing this, this is how we get things done. This this isolation does not work.
that's
No.
right.
Uh,
You can't put yourself in a bubble away from everything. You have to come together and do your part. Your voices matter. Your actions matter. Hey, that's how change comes about. Because change is not going to happen on its own. Okay,
Right.
we only wish it would. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes time, and so we have to keep up, keep strong, and keep pushing because then we'll see the victories. Okay, and
Right.
that's what our goals is for. But Mama Cat, and like next week, my guest is going to be Dial Keynes. Going to welcome her back. It's going to be new. She's going to be new on this new Podbean. But pit bull lovers out there, pit bull advocates, that's next week's show at 7 o'clock Eastern. She's from the Miami Coalition Against Breed Specific Legislation, BSL. Okay, so we want to give her support because they always get the bad rap, and it's not right. It's discrimination. One pit bull bites, and we hate to hear it, but they take out all of them, and it's not right. They need a chance, just like the rest of them. Because all the pit bulls I've known have been so friendly, and you pet them, and just throughout relatives and neighbors, and they're just awesome. But I hope you join us next week, and these shows are archived. And David and Tracy, after the show gets edited, published, I'll put the links in there for you, and send you the new links, okay?
Yeah,
And
that's
that way
great.
you'll have it,
yeah.
and and send you the one on my website, because then that way they can listen right from the website. Like I said, it's a total of 27 that's going out, other podcast websites, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the information of Jane Velez Mitchell, to contact her, and you could
Yeah.
even,
Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
she'll
Send me.
remember me. She'll remember being on the show. It was on Marty's TS Radio Network a couple
Right.
times, but she's an awesome. I mean, she's working hard out there, and even Lindsay Baker, I'll give you hers too.
Great.
Because at the beginning of January, they have vigil for elephants. All the elephants that died in that year. Like next year will be for 2025. And Lindsay was involved with it many years. And that's how I got connected with her, because I did a promo show for it.
Uh-huh.
So keep liking the show, everyone, and follow me on the Podbean podcast web, voices carry for animals.podbean.com. Create an account, with your full name, your nickname, uh, email address, password, press your robot, and you create an account and follow Voices Carry for Animals. And if you're on the web listening, thank you all for listening on the web from Podbean podcast. And if you want to join us in the chat room, you can. Okay, you just two simple steps is you want to from Google Play or App Store. You want to download Podbean podcast app and player, and then follow Voices Care for Animals, and you're in. And this chat room is awesome. And I want Tracy and David, I want you to look. There's Buford right there. He's he's AKA photo bomber. He loves selfies.
Right.
He's my BFF. Best furry friend. Hi, Buford. But he's awesome. He's a big photo bomber. He loves selfies. Yeah, but there's a story behind that. I'll say it real fast, Tracy David. When Eric Salvamini from Rising Linus, she wanted me to send pictures, for the promo,
Uh-huh.
and so I sent her that one. It was hilarious. And I said, just tell them it's me. And so we were laughing. We couldn't even take it. And so we've been laughing ever since. But all you ones that entered the chat room, the new ones, welcome aboard. I hope you come back and follow the host. Share the shows right from the chat room. This live chat room is awesome. Minute Mama Cat, it
I
is
love it.
awesome. Yes, I love it.
Yeah, it's
And
been. Can I
yeah,
just say before? Because I know we're not going to be far off running out of time. Can I just thank everybody that has taken the time to join the show? Because there's loads of messages coming up, and Tracy's been dealing with them and answering them. But thank you all that have taken the time to participate. It's great to hear from you.
yes, and thank you. And thank you for taking the time and being with us and sharing everything that you had is so very important and informative. You know, and keep it up. You and Tracy both. And
I'm
yes,
sorry to interrupt you. I'm just want to say I'm sorry to everybody. I've been trying to look out to answer and how to like on here, but I can't find it. It won't let me do it.
yeah. Can somebody explain to her because it's not on mine? I don't think I can like my own show. So it's not on my chat room. So can somebody write in there, on the message how to do it, and you can also share the show from here up in the
Yeah.
upper right hand corner where that arrow is and the square.
Ah,
Bam! You can share it to social
ah,
media. You could like, but somebody, where is the icon to like it? Maybe it is on here. I just haven't found it yet on me. I don't know if I can like my own show or not. Cause would that be good? Touch and hold the comment. A
let's
drop down will show up. Click reply. Hold the comment. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Mama K, you might have taught me. Hold on, that'd be a good one. Hold the comment. Are you trying that out, Tracy?
I won't do it for me.
Hold the comment
I
down.
click and hold it, and it just turns into an eye bar, and then it doesn't do anything. I
Huh.
don't know. Don't know.
A drop down will show up and click reply. If that's what it does. Because I
It
don't think
doesn't.
I could do it on mine. That's why I can't explain to do it. You know?
Yeah, I can't do it here.
Huh. That's a good one.
Uh,
Okay. But anyway, all the new ones came in the live studio. Next week will be on live stream at 7 o'clock Eastern. Okay, and then the following week will be 3 o'clock Eastern with a new guest from the UK. So I hope you join us. But anyway, thank you both so much, and another great show. And like I said, once I get it published. I'll send you the one with the links in it, okay? Because the temporary promo is doesn't have the links. I don't know why Podbean doesn't let you put it in there. But I just got congratulated from Podbean podcast the other day. 50 hours listening. Isn't that right?
All right.
Yeah,
50
yeah,
hours. All right. Wow.
yeah.
So,
I read
yep.
about it. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. I'm going to keep going. If I added the time, the listening hours on Blog Talk, it's way up there.
Yeah.
you know. but anyway, we got 500 shows tonight, or this today. I almost said tonight, but 500 shows of voices carried for animals. Everyone,
Yay!
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 Okay, and this one's to all animal abusers out there, okay, aka losers.
Like it. Like it.
so it, so look, Mama Cat. Okay, Mama Cat, are you ready? Paul
I'm
in hand.
ready.
Go ahead.
Flipper in hand, united we stand against all animal neglect and cruelty across the land. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Or good
everyone.
Good
Good
afternoon.
night.
night.
Good
Good night.
afternoon. It's not good evening. It's good afternoon.
Oh,
Thank you all
good
for
night.
tuning in with us and taking the time, like David said, to listening in. Okay, and please, keep listening in and do something. Bye bye. Good
Bye
Bye bye.
night.
bye.
May
Thank you.
God bless you all. And
God bless
a
you.
big shout out to Patricia Dahmer, aka Moose. I love you, Moose. That's my mom. Another name for Moose.
Aw,
Love you,
Oh,
Pat.
Love all your
okay.
support. Aloha, thank you, and Yvonne. This list is great. Thank you, everyone.
Bye
thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Voices Carried for Animals podcast, coming live every Thursday, live stream. May God bless you all. Bye bye. Night night. Big hugs from Florida to the UK. Bye bye. Thank you.